Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hankrum Gaming channel. Today we will be talking about Anthem and what happened with that game. So basically what I didn't like about Anthem, it seems a lot of people didn't like, mainly the gameplay was too repetitive and the rewards were not great. True, I didn't test all the way to endgame. Since then I have played a little bit more, but it's just too much. It's too much of the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not like player versus player where every match has a little bit different outcome and it gives you that little bit of hope. And even though you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's just different enough to be satisfying. Anthem didn't give you that feeling. What Anthem gave you was pretty much the exact same experience every single time. Even through the missions, even though the story was developing, it was expected basically that you'll go into a mission and then you'll rush, finish it, and then get the next piece of the story. And they really did a poor job at making players want to pace themselves with the missions and exploring the dungeons, because they don't reward you for exploring enough to where you want to do it. And not only that, but getting somewhere first gives you more experience because you're able to do more damage, get more kills, and you get more experience out of that, instead of the experience pool being shared. So if you're in a dungeon with somebody who does really great, everybody gets rewarded. So you're encouraged to pat good players on the back and tell them, hey, good job, thanks for the extra experience. Instead, you're punishing each individual player for not rushing forward enough to get the big AoE damage and score that way. Aside from the gameplay, there was also a lot of bad decisions. A lot of bad design decisions. I didn't want to call it bad decisions, but it's just poor choices. There were obviously choices. First of all, the design is very bland. Everything is gray and tan. When you go in Fort Tarsus, everything is bland. So Fort Tarsus is just a very tan and gray place. It's very dry. There's no excitement. Everything is so narrow that you feel claustrophobic. Even with the high ceilings, it's still claustrophobic. Especially the bazaar, where you have to go through every single time to get to your javelin. I was going to call it a mech. That was my main problem with doing this video, is that the game is so boring that every single time I start recording, I just start yawning. And I was pushing it back as much as I could. And then I got news, some of you may have heard today, that EA is firing a lot of people, laying a lot of people off. And I was afraid that I will be ragging on somebody who got fired today. Now, I got the information last week, mainly through friends who knew of friends who talked about it. So I didn't want to do a video if somebody was going to get fired, so I was just going to wait for the news to drop, see if anybody in BioWare got fired. And what happened with that was that EA fired their analytics and basically marketing departments. They fired everybody who's doing statistical analysis over the market and promoting their games. And that was a great idea, in my opinion, because I think Anthem is one of the casualties of bad marketing decisions. Not of particularly of bad game, but particularly bad marketing decisions. Now, BioWare was preoccupied with inviting people like Anita Sarkeesian, who are irrelevant in the gaming world, to their studio to give them what? Advice how to make a game? And this is the point I wanted to get to earlier in the video, but it took me, what, 5 minutes? So I wanted to get to this point. This is what BioWare made before they started getting too hung up on their political views, or thinking that they're somehow social engineers. Dragon Age Origins. It's a great game. There are political views in the game, but they're not glaring and they're not detrimental to the design of the game. The design of the game was honest to what it wanted to represent, which is Dragon Age. Basically something out of Dungeons and Dragons, maybe Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. Now, the other problem with Anthem was actually one taken from Dragon Age Origins, which was that you have to talk to people to raise their feelings towards you, I guess. Obviously, to make friends, you need to talk to them. Imagine that. But it wasn't necessary. in Anthem. Your decisions, I don't want to say they don't make that much of a difference, because they do affect your experience of the world a little bit, but they're just, I don't know, reputation grind, basically. You gotta hit the right button, or this person is not gonna like you, so you're not gonna get the bonuses, or get to buy the gear, or get to buy the shards, or get to receive bonuses in your missions early enough. And that's annoying. You shouldn't do that to your player. Come on, especially if you have boring and bland characters. And I'm sorry, but the characters are boring and bland, uninteresting and uninvolving. These are not people that are following you on your adventures, really. They're just there to make noise during a mission. It was tedious. It was boring. It was sad, really, that I had to do it. And that's all I got to say about that, really. The other comparison with the Dragon Age world that I can make is that there's no edge in Anthem. In the advertisement, you had Running After a Crazy Train as the background soundtrack. There's nothing crazy about Anthem. Everything is so muted. Everything is so cheesy, I guess. There's no edge. Seriously, who here could be Morgan in Anthem? Who can be Morgan? No one. Who could you say is a wild card? No one. Your partner was supposed to be unstable, and everybody was warning you about them. And spoiler alert, your best friend betrays you, because, you know, that's what guys do, I guess. Because he wanted to pilot the Javelin, but he couldn't before, but now he can, because why? The guy couldn't make one jump across one valley without getting knocked down. Anthem just loses too many points on too many levels. And like I said, I didn't want to rag on the game until this situation with EA blew over, until I saw who they got rid of. But honestly, I think BioWare is also one of the studios that should have been just let go. I know they have at least one project in development right now, and maybe EA is waiting to wait and see what's going to happen to the investment on that one. But I don't think BioWare deserves anything anymore. Anything from us. I've been so angry about this game that I've been pushing back this video from recording it. Mainly because I didn't want to yell on my microphone because it doesn't handle it well. And number two is because I didn't want to rag on people who are about to lose their jobs. But feeling bad really is, I feel bad for the fans of the studio, because the BioWare does have fans. Not just their games. BioWare as a studio has fans who are probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but BioWare doesn't deserve to survive as a gaming studio anymore. If they want to be a political activists, go ahead, start that. Close it down, close down shops, start making videos and stuff like that. Computer-generated graphic videos, basically, for politics. I don't mind you speaking your mind in your art. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to say if your art was worth the money people spent on it. And people spent a lot of money on Anthem. You got my 90 bucks. I'm sorry, 72. 72 bucks. With tax. You expect me to be just okay with you obviously pushing a political ideology in your design of the main city? No, I'm sorry. I'm not. That's not what I pay you for. I pay you to entertain me, and you delivered zero entertainment in Anthem. The last 9 hours I had to play the game, it felt like doing work. I'm self-employed. I work all day. I come home, and what do I have to do? I have to play this game so I can review it, give it a decent chance, give the devil his due, basically. And end of the day, what do I get? I get a job. I get a job when I come home. I'm not happy with you, BioWare. What were you doing when you were designing Anthem? Were you saying, oh, how cool it would be if somebody agrees with our politics and somebody agrees with this world that we're trying to create? Look how beautiful it is. Really? It's nice and green, and everywhere there's people, it's just tan and gray. That's your color scheme? Tan and gray? Okay, the other guys decided with green and pink, so we're gonna go with tan and gray. You overcorrected. Green and pink is what you get when your child eats the crayon box and throws it up. Or poops it out, okay? So that's shit. But tan and gray is also what you get if you have a kid that fills the diaper. Maybe not so much gray, but tan definitely. A lot of tan and brown. You fucked up. I don't swear often on my videos, but you fucked up big time. This is a mess, and it's disappointing, especially on the feet, especially following Andromeda. And what did you do with Anthem? You basically gave us the Andromeda multiplayer. Essentially, that's what it is. It's Andromeda multiplayer. Co-op missions. Good job. Good job, BioWare. Not only did you not do any work since then, but the work that you did piss poorly. I'm not happy with you. You deserve more of a rant and more emotion out of me, but like I said, my mic can't handle it. It doesn't like yelling into it. So I'm not going to break my mic. Well, I'm not going to break my mic, but I'm not going to waste my time editing audio for 3 hours just so I can yell at you for a little bit. Anthem Postmortem. Is the game worth it? No. Can it be fixed? No. It's fundamentally broken. It's a fundamentally bad design of a game. It is boring. It is bland. It delivers only one thing. And the javelins are not unique enough from one to another. It's not worth it. It's not worth the $60. It's not worth the $50. It's not worth it. It's not worth $30. I've seen some free-to-play games which are better. I can name you one right now. Warframe is better. It's much better. Warframe. Play Warframe. Even if you have to pay $60 a year to play Warframe, you know, because they have some microtransactions, it's still better than Anthem. So yeah, go play that. Do you want to experience some futuristic world? Don't play this game where every single person is covered up head to toe. But it's supposed to be a desert or a tropical climate. No, it isn't. It's not a rainforesty climate. I've yet to see anyone who's wearing that much clothes in a tropical climate. Short sleeve shirts. No, I'm sorry. Shirts with no sleeves, but head coverings. Somebody's insane. Somebody's crazy. Somebody went loony. You know, in the desert, I get it. Head coverings, long sleeves. You don't want to get sunburned in the desert. It's a bad idea if you get sunburned. But if you have a shirt with no sleeves, you don't need the head covering. See what I'm saying? Freaking stupid. Alright, so Anthem, Postmortem, what is it? It's a stupid game. It's a stupid game that doesn't deserve anything. And it comes from a studio which made Dragon Age. And that's what is upsetting. And that's why I'm playing the game in the background. So the people who work in BioWare right now can feel ashamed of themselves of what they've done with a great studio. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to my rant and so on. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, please dislike it. All feedback is helpful. And please check out the playlist on the left and the right.